All right, guys, January stats are in and it's time to break down what's going on in the Peterborough real estate market. Today, we're going to take a quick look into what happened in January 2020, how it compares to January 2019, and what happened year to date in Peterborough in 2019. Before we get going with this video, guys, I just want to say I'm putting out one of these market videos every month once we get our PCAR board statistics, and I'm putting out a video every week on various real estate and construction topics. So if you find this content useful, please click the subscribe button. It's down to, I believe, your right. And if you don't find the content useful, I'd love to hear what you do want to see out of these videos, because I'm gonna keep making them, so let me know what you want to see. All right, guys, so let's get into it here. January 2020, 53 sales. This is just looking at the residential market. So we've pulled out the commercial activity. 53 sales, 56 active listings. That leaves us with 1.6 months of inventory. For those of you who are watching this for the first time or unfamiliar with the months of inventory metric, it's simply dividing the sales last month into the active listings, current active listings, and it gives us this number that shows how quick we would run out of inventory if no new listings came on next month. The average price was $444,137. That's up 10.31%, so double digits from January of last year, which is a huge increase. Days on market, that's average days on market, is 36. And what do all these statistics mean? First off, the months of inventory. 1 month of inventory, you guys know if you've been watching that that's an extremely low number. The Toronto Real Estate Board and our own board in 2017, when things were getting extremely crazy, we're hovering around these types of statistics, just around 1 month or just below 1 month of inventory. So things really start to pick up speed at this point. There's not a lot of time for people to make decisions, and price increases start happening rapidly. Average price, that's a pretty significant jump. When you think about a $400,000 property, your down payment is going to be $20,000, and a 10% increase in the property value of a $400,000 property is $40,000. So that means if you had $20,000 in as a down payment on a property that's at 5% on an insured mortgage, your total property value could have went up by $40,000 last year. That's doubling the amount of your down payment. So 36 days on market, very quick. It hovered around 1 month for the entirety of 2019. And what that means when we look at that is that you don't have a ton of time to make decisions. A lot of these places are holding offers for some short time period, whether it's a few days, 48-hour irrevocables, or 1 week hold. So from that 1 week, by the time offers are submitted, negotiated, and then accepted, and you have anywhere from a 1 week to a 10-day conditional period until those things go firm. When you subtract all that stuff out, that means that people are making their mind up on properties extremely quickly. And then when we look at what does this mean for you as a buyer or a seller in the marketplace, for the most part, this is very good news for sellers. It means that you're going to get top dollar, you're going to be able to sell your home easily. And right now within the city, I'm not talking in the county, this is across all price points. There was a recent sale, I think it was just last week there was a property in the $900,000 range that sold firm in a couple of days. So when we look at the county, we're seeing a lot of stagnant inventory up in that $1 million mark. There's just a glut of inventory in that range. But in the city, there's really no overburdened categories of price with inventory. There's no inventory across the board. So if you're looking to list and you're waiting for the spring market, you think you want to wait on that timing when everybody can see your lawn, see the amenities that your property offers the best, and allow timing for buyers to work out the best when they're shopping. you might want to reconsider. It's just worth taking a look right now because things are moving extremely rapidly and the inventory is very low. There's a chance that when the supply goes up, when all these spring sellers come out, that it could soften it a little bit and you might not be able to grab exactly the same price or sell quite as easily. So if the timing's right for you and you could see yourself moving within the next 3 to 6 months, rather than waiting to try and initiate a spring sale, you might want to consider putting your property on the market now because it is a very strong seller's market. On the buying side, it means that you've got to be prepared when you're shopping around. You got to really understand what you do and don't want and be prepared to buy things without too much time to decide. I know that's a very unfortunate situation. Unfortunately, it's the current state of the market and it doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. So typically these people that are going in and winning these bids, for a couple $1,000s over asking or putting in a strong offer right away without much time to think, they've already lost out on several properties that they thought about or they wanted to look deeper into and they didn't have a chance. So really, that's just to say, as a buyer, get yourself mentally prepared to make a purchase. Really define what you want in that property so the right one comes. You don't have to second guess yourself, and do a lot of research, do a lot of homework. Make sure you go out and see properties even if they're not exactly the one that you want to buy, because you got to understand what people are willing to pay in the marketplace. Oh, that one sold for $450. I remember going through that one. It looked like this and that, and oh, the trim was a little bit different than this one, and I'm surprised someone's willing to pay $450 for that. And you just help yourself understand the marketplace. If you only go out and look at homes that are exactly perfect for you, it's going to be hard when that one rolls across your plate. You haven't really gone out to see any properties, and now you have to go and put out, $500,000 out of your money. So that's the only advice I got on the buying side is be prepared, and it's going to be competitive. So, get ready for that. And in terms of overall market health right now, we did end up having that record fourth quarter in 2019. So we had a record number of unit sales, and the pace is just continuing here through into 2020. So it's a very extremely strong market in Peterborough. Okay, guys, a quick side note on the months of inventory and the speed of the price increase. The main concern that I'm hearing from buyers right now is what happens if this pace doesn't keep up? What happens if I pay $450 for a place in the South End that's fairly small square footage wise, and all of a sudden the market tanks? And the big concern is, as it normally always is, what happens if the market crashes? How protected am I? What are the odds of it happening? My only real advice on that I can say that's quantifiable is, for this current market to change, is that we have to have some drastic change at this current point in time, because a balanced market is between 4 to 6 months of inventory. Anything below 4 months, which we are drastically below, is a seller's market. So we have a long way to go still until we start seeing prices reverse or even stabilize. And in order for it to go that direction, we need one of two things to happen. Is either we need a whole bunch of new inventory, a bunch of new supply, or we need a total decline in buyer demand. So let's take a quick look at what would have to happen for either of those things to take place. For new inventory to come online, we would need new buildings, new development at a large scale, rapid pace, and with a variety of product available across different points in the city to suit all the marketplaces. And that's not currently available. There is going to be some more new product coming online in way of condos downtown, East City, and Lily Lake Road developments in the future, but it still isn't enough in the current time to really absorb that new demand. And then other than that, new inventory coming on means that people have to sell and not rebuy in our market. So you would have to have a mass migration out of Peterborough for whatever reason that would be. Our largest demographic is the retirees, and that means that they would have to be selling in Peterborough and moving somewhere else. And this is a great city for retirees, so there's no reason for them to leave here, maybe go to the outskirts, the county or something, but that's typically not the case either, because most of them are looking for less maintenance, not more. Some of them do, of course, move to cottages and whatnot, but that's still in our whole general county. And so you have a mass migration. It could, if it isn't retirees, then what's the next thing? It would have to be jobs leaving and people leaving the city. But as most of you know, our job base isn't just Peterborough at large, it's our greater surrounding area. You got people working in OPG, you got some people commuting elsewhere to other municipalities for sales jobs, and you have our own hubs of sales jobs. We have some nuclear activity, we have Quaker Oats, we have school boards, we have hospitals, and we would have to have a drastic job change in Peterborough to have our sort of middle-aged family and younger earners leaving the city in mass to dampen the inventory, where those people put their home up for sale, left, and didn't rebuy in our market. And then on the buyer side, what we would have to have is to see softening buyer demand is one of a few things. And forgive me if I don't catch them all, feel free to add your points on either side. But raising interest rates, which we're not pending to see anytime soon, there could be a change in rules, because we did have a softening in the stress testing this year, which was a help, but new rules such as that, for example, the foreign buyers tax that was put in 2017, we could see something along those lines if the market got too out of control. That would have to be Ontario at large, and any number of other government factors that would be put in place to purposefully dampen the market. And you got to think that that's only going to happen, or they only take those measures when there's really extreme runaway pricing, and it probably has to happen anyways. And as we saw last time when they did it in 2017, prices stabilized, slight little downtrend when the actual trend of price increase wasn't going up, but then it was right back up. Here we are a few years later, and we're back into big growth. So buyer demand slowing down. We have the potential of government intervention. We also have the negative outlook on Peterborough, any sort of negative potential outlook on Peterborough, which right now everything's looking strong. We have the potential of a commuter train coming here. We have the Highway 407 extension. We have all the things mentioned previously with the schools for the students themselves that are bringing up rents, making it attractive to landlords, pushing more people out of their current rental situations to have to look to buy because the rental market's so strong. And there's just a ton of great factors that are on the demand side for Peterborough. So we would have to see a big hit on any of those. All those things being said, is that currently with our status of our months of inventory, as far as I can see, guys, it's not bound to change anytime soon. I'd love to hear your inputs on that. What other factors you think I'm not accounting for in terms of what could swing it drastically to slow down, I'd love to hear. And the honest advice right now and the consensus from everyone around this city, and even a lot of reports coming in from financial magazines, this type of thing, is that Peterborough is a great spot to look right now for real estate. That's it for this week, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. You can find me on social media at Mitch Cleary Real Estate. I'm on Facebook with the same name as well. Love to hear from you guys. And there's going to be another update coming next month and another video coming next week. Take care, guys.